How to read and use timetables. We come across timetables for journeys by train and by bus. Timetables are useful. They show us the length of the journeys from different places, and they also show us which stations the trains stop at or which towns the buses stop at. So the key points of the video are here. I'm just going to let you read those. Okay, let's have a look at the first example. And the first example is information in a table, and we've got a time zone here. Time zones, we've got London is in a time zone that's 5 hours ahead of New York. So we've got the time in London and we've got the time in New York. So at any one point, London is 5 hours ahead of New York. So we can see here that if it's 10 a.m. in London, it will be 6 a.m. in New York. So the first thing is to realise that if we go this way, it's subtracting 5 hours, and if we go this way, it's adding 5 hours. You can see the information is displayed in two ways. We've got the 12-hour clock and we've got the 24-hour clock. And the question says, fill in the missing items. So we can see here, if it's 1 a.m. in London, we need to subtract 5 hours. So that would be 12 a.m., 11 p.m., 10 p.m., 9 p.m., 8 p.m. And in the 24-hour clock, that is 2000 hours. This one here, we're going to go the other way. It's 8:35 in New York. And then in London, so that will be add 5 hours, so that would be 9:35, 10:35, 11:35, 12:35, 1:35 p.m. And we can do that for the 24-hour clock. So we just do 9, 10, 11, 12, and then that's 13:35. Okay, so that's how we use a timetable. Just be careful to look at the table carefully, how it works, and line things up when you calculate using a table. Right, let's have a look at a timetable now. So we've got here, this is part of a train timetable along the Severn Beach line from Severn Beach to Bristol Temple Meads. And on the journey, we start at Severn Beach, and then then we go to St Andrews Road, and then Redland and Lawrence Hill and Bristol Temple Meads. So imagine the train as a train line here. And let's just add in the stations just to show. So you've got Severn Beach, just use the initials, St Andrews Road, Redland, and we've got Lawrence Hill, and then lastly Bristol Temple Meads. And we've got 4 different train journeys. Let's call this the train journey 1. We've got train journey 2, train journey 3, and train journey 4. Let's have a look at train journey 1. So it's at Severn Beach, and it leaves Severn Beach at 7:51. So the journey's going down this way. It arrives at St Andrews Road at 7:57. Then it carries on to Redland and arrives in at Redland at 8:19. Lawrence Hill at 8:28, and finally arrives into Bristol Temple Meads at 8:32 here. So that's the first journey. The second journey does look a little bit different. This one leaves Severn Beach at 9:56. And you can see it doesn't stop at St Andrews Road. That's why there's a dash there. Okay, so it goes straight through, doesn't stop, and then it does arrive at Redland at 10:04. Doesn't stop at Lawrence Hill and goes straight through to Temple Meads, arriving in at 10:32. And you can see train 3 works in the same way, and so does train 4. So there's 4 train journeys shown on the timetable. So that's how the timetable works. Let's have a look at the questions. How many minutes does the 9:56 from Severn Beach take to reach Bristol Temple Meads? So this is just a time interval question. So we know it leaves at 9:56, and we need to look at the timetable to see that it arrives at Bristol Temple Meads at 10:32. So it's just a case of working out. So we count on to the next hour, and then count on to 10:32, and you can see that's 4 minutes there, plus 32 minutes. So the journey time is 36 minutes. Let's have a look at B. Miss Jolly lives in Severn Beach. She wants to be in Redland by 12:30 p.m. What is the latest train she can catch? So we've got to be careful to read this question correctly, and you can see it says latest train. So she could catch, if she's in Severn Beach, she could catch this train, the 7:51. She could catch the 9:56 because they've all arrived before 12:30 p.m. into Redland here. However, the latest train that she could catch is the 11:54 because it will arrive in at 12:25, which is before 12:30. So she needs to be there by 12:30. So she needs to get a train that gets in before 12:30. So the latest train she can catch is the 11:54. And then lastly, Mr. Evans is at St Andrews Road at 8 o'clock. What is the earliest train he can catch to reach Lawrence Hill? So we need to have the earliest train this time. So if he's there at 8 o'clock, he can't catch this train because it's already gone. This train doesn't stop at St Andrews Road. So the earliest train he can catch to get to Lawrence Hill is the 12:02. So he's got a bit of a long wait, unfortunately, for the next train. Right, let's just have a quick recap. So the key points were when we read from a table, we need to make sure we line up the information in the table correctly, read from the table carefully and work out what to do. You'll notice that I added these arrows to show me what to do to take away or add. So that was the first one. And then secondly, when reading from a timetable, work out how the journey works. It normally goes down like this, each journey, like that. And make sure you read the information carefully. For example, if it says latest or earliest, and just do your time calculations using this method as normal.